Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub for Thursday, June 24th. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Conor Mac with you. We are ready to break down Game 3, Western Conference Finals. The Phoenix Suns taking on the LA Clippers with the Suns up in the series 2-0, and the return of Chris Paul for Game 3 tonight as well, just to make matters even more complicated and harder. You know, it's already a hard mountain to climb for this Clippers team, and now it could get even harder now with Chris Paul coming back. So looking forward to this Game 3 tonight. We'll break it all down. Connor, Dutch, and Skee Profit with you on this Thursday edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Before we talk about tonight, though, let's look at last night. The Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. Connor and I liking that Atlanta side, and boy, did they reward us with a great performance. Mike Budenholzer doing Mike Budenholzer things. The one thing you got to drill through this man's brain is maybe have an answer for Trae Young starting up a new series. Maybe don't let him go off for 40-plus points like he did last night. And sure enough, bad coaching prep, getting his team prepared. Not totally a shock from this Bucks side, but give Atlanta a ton of credit. I mean, just a magical performance, whether it was, passes off the backboards for dunks for John Collins, whether it was an incredible shooting night for Trae Young, facilitating as a shooter, doing it all for the Atlanta Hawks last night. And look, they outplayed and out-scrapped Milwaukee. So many times there was battle on the boards for loose balls, guys. And I'm seeing Capella, I'm seeing John Collins, I'm seeing guys like that out-scrap and out-battle and out-hustle players on the Milwaukee side. And that was the game. It was not just Trae's night. That had a huge part of it, but I thought it was just they were winning more of those battles, in the paint, rebounds, defense. Of course, Atlanta made the stops when they had to. Milwaukee didn't. And let's give the Hawks credit. That was a loud message and a statement to this Milwaukee team. We're here to compete. We're here to battle you in this series. We're not scared of the Milwaukee Bucks. We're not fearing any deer. None of that nonsense. We're here to show up and give you guys a series. And they gave them a great Game 1 and a great Game 1 road win. And now that's 6-2 on the road, straight up, for Atlanta, their last 8 road playoff games. So they are becoming the road warriors of these NBA playoffs. Think about winning Game 1 in New York on the road. Think about winning Game 1 in Philly on the road. Game 7 in Philly on the road. Closing out New York on the road. Now winning Game 1 at Milwaukee on the road. This is a road warrior bunch, the Hawks team, and they made a statement to the Bucks that you got a series on your hands here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Skee, what did you think of last night? Impressive by Atlanta.
Yeah, Trae Young doing his thing, looking elite. He's a superstar for sure. Doesn't matter which defender you're throwing at him. He's doing the same thing to each and every one of them. If we put up 48 points, you can't do nothing but tip your cap to the guy. So Hawks look good. I mean, they have a lot of guys who can contribute, and we'll see if the Bucks can respond.
And that's going to be up to them now tomorrow night in Game 2 on Friday night to figure out an answer on Trae Young specifically. But great performance. And shout out to John Collins, his interview on Inside the NBA. It was so good that I think that guy you might be seeing him on Inside the NBA 15 years from now when he's retired from NBA basketball. That guy can cut a promo. He's got the gift of gab. He's got the mic skills, whatever you want to call it. John Collins on that interview after the game for the Atlanta Hawks. Dutch, what did you think of last night?
Yeah, shout out to the chat, Brian Watson, the hook, and Preston says, Middleton was back to back to trash pretty much, and
0 for 9.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's what really stood out, especially in that fourth. Like, god damn, Middleton, quit shooting threes first of all, and come on, man, like you pressing too much when it counts. We got to touch on it. Trae Young, yeah, man, he knocked me in the face 1, 2, maybe even 3 times. I felt that shit this morning. That was a completely bad read by me, but Drew Holiday wasn't locked in on defense. I mean, he really wasn't. Now, I did say Drew, would go over 18.5, and I did say he would be the key to the series. He had 33 and 10, but he got to play some fucking defense. He's gotta go get through those screens a little more. I mean, Brook Lopez is, he shouldn't even be on the floor. I did, touch on Bobby Portis. The guy played 14 minutes, had 11 points and 8 rebounds, 3 offensive, but he don't get to see the court. I mean, he's got to do better on those screens, but to me, Bobby Portis probably should be starting over Brook Lopez right now. Brook Lopez had a -14 and had 2 fucking rebounds the entire game. and only gave you 7 points, and he's not hitting the three. So what the fuck's he doing out there? He's a defensive liability. He's letting Trae Young get too comfortable. And I'm gonna touch on it. People might say I'm a hater, but Trae Young ain't that good, man. You got to get up on that motherfucker. You got to foul him. I mean, he had a nice game. Props is given to that cat. I mean, he had a great game, but you let him get in the groove early, and you letting this motherfucker do shimmies on you and all kinds of shit. It's just the new age NBA is not what I like. It's come on, man. You got Tucker out there. You got you got to just put his ass on the floor. There's no fucking reason he should be dropping 48 on you and dancing. He's not that good. He's 6'1", under 180. Come the fuck on. We'll probably see a better, game changes on game 2, and he won't be looking like that. He ain't no fucking superstar. He's a star, but he ain't no superstar, man. But he looked like a superstar last night. It's amazing what no defense can make a motherfucker look like. He's on his way to being Steph Curry if they keep it up, though. God damn, is the NBA not on his dick or what? Every fucking call he gets, he's on the ground, he's crying, he's dancing. Yeah. He thinks he's Steph fucking Curry. I don't like what I see from Trae Young. I know people are going to be like, God damn, Dutch, but I don't like the motherfucker. And, yeah, he took my money last night. But somebody lock him up. Drew Tucker, somebody lock his ass up. And last night, to me, what it really came down to is coaching. I mean, Nate McMillan is just that much better of a coach. There's no reason why Milwaukee should have lost that game. They're up 7 to 8 points with 4 minutes to go, and you fucking lose outright. It's unbelievable to me. I agree with you, Ian. There ain't no fear in the fucking deer right now, man.
No, there isn't. There was no fear whatsoever. Did Atlanta look like they were scared and, their knees buckling under them going onto that floor for game 1 last night? No, not at all. And that's impressive. They've got that collective mindset of we're tough, we're rugged, we don't fear anybody. We think our game is good enough to compete with and beat anybody. That's where the confidence is right now for the Atlanta Hawks. So it's a dangerous thing at the moment for the Milwaukee Bucks. So we'll see how they can respond to this in game 2 moving forward. But definitely big time. You're right. Bobby Portis, an absolute stiff. A stiff walking on the basketball court last night for the Milwaukee Bucks. And Chris Middleton, terrible shooting in the fourth quarter as well. So there's a couple of key factors right there in Milwaukee with their night just not going their way.
Yeah, B said I must have lost money. Actually, I was 2-2 on the night, and I had to hit the plus 115 with Capella on the rebound. So it really wasn't much. It was just watching Trae Young. I mean, it's irritating to me that they allow that motherfucker to do that to him. It's 48 points. There's no way Milwaukee should have lost that game. But
I thought it was a little over the top when he had that 3-point shot, guys, when he's doing the little,
He was playing like how I play with him on 2K, but in real life, I'm like, all right.
I'm telling you, that was 2K last night. That was 2K. That's why I'm like, bro, in a playoff game at home, I mean, I was very surprised. My bad. Go ahead, C-Mac.
Nothing. Where's Drew Holiday at? I thought he was supposed to stick him last night.
Well, his offense was there. We saw his offense.
He did.
His defense, yeah.
He was one of the only ones that shot it well. Hawks won. They played great. The Bucks crumbled like I thought in the fourth. They had the lead and just blew it away. Nick, I got Nick on that, dude. I thought Tucker, man, 4.5 points. This fool can get 5. He lands on 4. That was a late reach. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to. But Collins, points, rebounds, double. He came through big, which I thought he would. And that's all. And the Hawks won last night. I think they played well. I think the Bucks played better in game 2. I just thought it was crazy, the points. I'm glad they won outright. Always got to sprinkle a money line. But I was thinking the spread would have been 5. Remember last night? I thought it would be 5.5, not 8. I thought it was just too many, and I think it's going to be around that in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, all the money was on Milwaukee, and that's a sign that you don't, if you got to make up your own decision sometimes, you can't say that every line move is going to be correct. No, there are times when it isn't, and that was the case with Milwaukee last night. So shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. Win last night in game.
Hot call.
There you go, a little hot call. For you on our way out as we transition to tonight now, game 3, Western Conference Final. LA Clippers, Phoenix Suns, Staples Center. The scene shifts to La La Land, Los Angeles. Game 3 tonight. We've got the Suns 1-point road favorites in this game. 221.5 the total. The total's gone up in this one. It's going to be the same kind of thinking that usually I have for a game 3 in this spot where there's a team down 0-2, especially a team down 2-0 on their home floor. We're going to go with the Clippers early. in this one, first quarter, first half. I do think you get a good performance from them early in the game tonight, backs against the wall situation. I know Phoenix is going to have Chris Paul back. And, usually I do subscribe sometimes to that theory where, when they get the top player back or the leader of the team, sometimes everybody just slacks off a little bit and they don't do quite as much in that first game. And they just, they're a little bit, relax a little bit, complacent because you got your best player back. But right now, I think Chris Paul's one of those players that he may not let the team slip into that kind of mindset because he just demands, perfection, effort out there, really, really commands the huddle, so to speak, of this team. And I think definitely you're going to see that tonight. So I think there's less of a chance of a letdown for Phoenix bringing Chris Paul back. I do think the Clippers will throw everything they can at the Suns early. And really, they've played Phoenix pretty decently early in these games. They've cashed, first quarter bets in, I believe, each of the first two. Last game, they definitely cashed first quarter. But they have been better early in the game. And then we've seen Phoenix basically get stronger, get better, make better adjustments at times in the second half. I think you're going to see that tonight. I like the Clippers first quarter and first half. I like the Suns, though, for the full game. The road favorites have done well in these playoffs, and I'm not convinced over 48 minutes of basketball the Clippers can find a way to win this game, but I'd prefer them in the first quarter, first half, and I'll lean Phoenix full game. As far as the total goes, it's been bet up. Maybe some bettors are seeing we had over in game one, we had the under in game two. Maybe we get back to a higher scoring game tonight, but I'm not going to be in a rush to bet the over if the Clippers don't change this lineup from what we saw in game two, where they put in Zubats, they put in Beverly, a more defensive-minded lineup with a slower pace to it as well. You saw the pace really drag in game two with that Clipper lineup on the floor, and they did it to try to shore up the defense, which was absolutely pathetic in game one. And if they bring that same starting five, which includes Zubats and Beverly again tonight, if Ty Lue starts with that, then I'm not going to be in a rush to look at the over. I mean, maybe you can look at an in-game over, see how the game starts, but I think you might see that same lineup because, look, at least they had a chance to beat the Suns with that group in game two, and they did play a little bit better defensively, certainly on Devin Booker in game two. So I know people are betting the over, but I wouldn't want it unless I know for a fact they're going to go back to that small ball, faster pace lineup, and I'm not at all sold Ty Lue is going to do that tonight. So I wouldn't be flocking to the over with everybody here in the betting markets that have pushed this total up from 218.5 to 221.5. I don't have a strong feel for the total without knowing the exact lineup info, but my sense is he's going to keep the same group out there, so I'd lean under. And in terms of the game, like I said, Clippers first quarter, first half, and then maybe we'll look to Phoenix at halftime for an in-game bet at that time. And as far as the props go, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Ayton hasn't been stopped in this series. I don't think there's a good defensive answer for the Clippers. So I don't love the props for this game, but the one that's an obvious for me is DeAndre Ayton. Just keep going to that because I don't think there's an answer right now for this Clippers team. Ski Profit, what do you think here? Game three, Clippers, Suns.
Yeah, we're in agreement on a lot today. Just the total, I agree with you. We got to check the starting lineup because we got burned by that last time. And they'll announce it maybe like 2 hours before the game or an hour and a half before the game, but we'll get the info. So if you're getting like Man and Batum, then of course I'm going to expect points and probably mostly in the first half. But if we're getting Zubac and Beverly again, and then you get Chris Paul back slowing down the game and the end of the game in the fourth quarter, I'm probably going to lean more towards an under for the full game. So I'll just keep my eye out for the starting lineup for tonight. For the side, I look at this game, it feels like trappy. And the reason I say that is because who's the better team here? You got a healthy Phoenix team. Chris Paul's even back. You have the Clippers. They haven't been getting any rest since like the beginning of the playoffs. And they're without Kawhi, and the spread is 1. So I did some research, and I looked at all the dogs. Shout out to my guy Tony if you're watching too. Tony kind of mentioned this morning, but I looked at all the dogs in the playoffs back to 2019, and when the spread is below 2, so 1 or 1.5, and they were 15-5 straight up and against the spread. And if you look at just this season, this playoffs, they're 5-1. So they're throwing this line out there, begging you to take the Suns. I think the NBA really, would prefer to extend the series. The Clippers are in the game in the previous game. They should have honestly won. So I would take the Clippers in this one. I probably would agree with you to take them first half, Ian, just because, I mean, you're going to get the max effort from these guys in a game like this. The first quarter makes me a little nervous. I agree with the thought process, but I just feel like they haven't been good in the first quarter in the playoffs. So I like Clippers first half, full game, and check the lineups for the total. And with the props, I agree with you on Aiden. I mean, you have to continue to look at him. I think it should be more towards 30 with points and rebounds. Chris Paul, I probably would think he's a little bit rusty today, and look for his point total. Last I saw was 17.5. I probably would look for that to go under. And Reggie Jackson, he's the only other guy that I see contributing like consistently besides Paul George. So I would look for him whether it's points or 3-pointers.
And the over threes, as you mentioned the other day, it keeps cashing with Reggie Jackson, no doubt. He has been over 2.5. 2.5 is pretty much where the 3-pointers made prop has been for Reggie of late, and he's been going over that routinely. Is that Kyle Hamburg in the chat from the ATL? Welcome in. Good to see you in the chat. He's happy. I got to give him a Hawks call right there for his Atlanta Hawks last night for a big game 1 win. I know he's a happy man with how Atlanta got the job done last night against the Bucks. But yeah, Aiton's a good prop play, I think, tonight. Oh, yeah. Cameron Payne might be a good under tonight because with Chris Paul back, he's going to get less time. He's definitely not going to shoot like he did the last game. He's not going to have the opportunities to shoot the ball like he did in the last game. And definitely I could see him being an under. I'm going to maybe stick to Bridges as well. I think it was just a bad call to take him the other night, but I think he can play better here and maybe more of an onus. People fall asleep on him for the Clippers because he was pretty quiet in game 2. So I think it could be a bounce back offensive night maybe for Mikal Bridges as well for the Phoenix Suns tonight. Dutch, what do you think here? Game 3, Suns and Clippers.
Yeah, I'm with my boy Skee on that trap. Yeah, this game is real fishy. It's more fishy than our boy Nicky. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy. I don't know how it's only one. I just to me it just seems trap. I could only look Clippers if I'm betting this game full game. Real quick, shout out to our guy Bubba Wallace guy. I haven't seen him in the chat before. Also, yeah, our guy Kyle Hamburg. You said him. But yeah, when it comes to this game, man, it's like so crazy. I want to bet. I really want to bet Phoenix. I really do, but it just seems too trappy to me. So like I said, I could only look the Clippers. I got 2 bets on this game, and you've already touched on it, Ian, and Skee followed it up. It's DeAndre Ayton. You know, we've been eating off the cat. It's over 15.5 points. It is juiced at spots, but you can get it at 115 right now at BetMGM, and I'm on the over 10.5 rebounds as well. I just simply believe he's going to continue to eat. Feed him the ball. Shout out to I Need Money. You know, he liking Reggie Jackson over 32 points, rebounds, and assists the last 4. So, yeah, I mean, Reggie, I'm not mad at anything with Reggie as well. Them threes, they're a little juice, but I know we've been skiing. Everybody been eating off them. My man Sideshow asked me what I was smoking on. I got some Gas Monkey. It's some new shit I just tried first time. It's not too bad. 28%. It gets you where you need to be, though. Shout out to Walla Walla. But I got DeAndre Ayton over 15.5 points, minus 115. And I also got over 10.5 rebounds, over 10, minus 115 as well. Those are my 2 plays for this game. I don't want to bet no first half, no first quarter. I simply think Phoenix is a better team. But this line stinks so fucking bad, Vegas. Like everyone's saying in the chat, shout out to my guy Wyatt, simply saying, you know, that Vegas is begging you to bet this game. So I'm going to stay off of it. You know, if I see a solid in play, I might fuck with it. But I do like I kind of was looking at Jay Crowder over 9.5 points. I mean, I feel like, you know, that could be there. But it's kind of
so bad in game 2.
What's that?
My bad. He was so bad in game 2, I think, and they've lowered it to 9.5. I was looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an 11.5. It's down 2 points. The motherfucker only had 3 shots, I think. Like I mentioned, Cameron Payne was kind of, you know, he had 24 attempts. Bridges and Crowder both kind of didn't have the games that usually they have with CP3 in the lineup. You know, Cameron Payne did have a great game, though. Look for him to probably attack some off the bench and even get solid minutes. I don't think, you know, the coach is going to be wanting to put him on the bench too long. He looked pretty damn good in game 2. But I definitely believe this will be a tight one, and I look for the Clippers to squeak it out. But let's get paid off our guy, DeAndre.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton, I like the double. It's a little juice now, minus 150 for DeAndre Ayton, double-double. It's getting up there, but I think he still gets that. The double-double that has value tonight is CP3. I'm not, even though it's his first game back, I think he has a good game tonight. Keep in mind, this is not an injury. that he's coming back from. This is not an illness that he's coming back from. He was just out due to precaution for this COVID situation. Right. He didn't have any major symptoms. He was feeling fine. So it's not like he's going to be less than 100%. He's playing tonight. He'll be 100%. He'll be good to go. And I think he's going to play well. And you can get plus 160 for that Chris Paul double-double. So
his assist are over 8.5. I was looking at that too. I think Eric Chain mentioned that in the chat as well. I'm kind of with you as well. I just don't want to go out too much on this. I don't know if he's going to be affected or not, but all signs point to that. He seems like he'll be ready to go.
Y'all not scared of rest? I mean, you look at the Jazz when they rested, they came out rusty. You look at Phoenix, they rested, they came out rusty. Y'all not scared of him sitting out this long and being rusty?
That's always the concern.
I'm not betting it.
No. But I like the price. But it's also why you're getting plus 160 on it. Like for Chris Paul to get 10 points, 10 assists, he can get that in his sleep when he's on his game. The question is, will he be A+ game tonight out of Chris Paul? Nobody knows that for sure, but I like the price you're getting with that. And I think, this is not he was feeling sick. This is not an injury. He can go on the court tonight and I think feel 100%. The question is the time off since his last game going to impact his performance that much?
I'm going to challenge you one more time. And I just remember guys coming off of the COVID stuff. Yeah. They usually had their minutes reduced. I know it's the playoffs, but maybe even still see a little bit of minute reduction.
And like I mentioned, Cameron Payne's right there. Like you know what I'm saying? So I could see that. That's why I kind of I circled 8.5 assists. And I also like the double-double plus 152. I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I don't need to force it. DeAndre Ayton's going to get us paid. And I left it alone because there is that question mark. I completely agree, Skee.
Yeah, that's also why I'm the only thing I'd bet with Paul is the double-double. I wouldn't look at points or assists because I'd rather lose on the plus 160 shot on the double-double than lose a points prop or lose an assist prop on Chris Paul tonight. So I think that's why I'm taking the shot plus 160 double-double, because probably if he's not going to get 10 points, 10 assists or have the shot for the double-double, then it's either he's not 100% feeling it, or they're keeping his minutes in check because he hasn't played for a while. So that's definitely something to keep an eye. It's one of those things that if you have books that bet live props, maybe a live prop, if you see the way Monty Williams is going with his lineup revolving around Chris Paul tonight, how he's going to end up going in terms of minutes played tonight for this game. C-Mac, what do you think here? Game 3, Clippers-Suns.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that, like Skee, you mentioned the Clippers lineup to come out with Beverly, but I like Chris Paul's coming back. I got to lean under here because I always like his slow pace. He eats clock, and I think the total is just a little bit too high. So I definitely like the under here. I'm going to stay off the side. I think the Clippers can get one. They might not. That game, too, we were talking about in the back, it was just so demoralizing. That loss was just, they had the win. Paul George misses the 2 free throws, end up losing it. But they're back in LA. We'll see. I'm just going to stay off the side. A couple props. Reggie Jackson, we all mentioned it. He's just been killing it. Points, threes, Ayton, of course. I was looking at the Crowder. That's why you mentioned it, Dutch. I was looking at that one, 9.5. And then the plus threes, if you're looking at Booker over 2.5, maybe Crowder. Someone's going to get hot if someone's looking at plus money for the threes. I did look at the CP3. I wish it was a little more because I think you can get that in his sleep, like you mentioned, but I still think it's a decent price. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but I had that circled on here.
Yeah, good stuff. I liked a lot of those props as well. Again, Chris Paul is the big question mark, I guess. Not only effectiveness, but how long is he in the game? How many minutes does he play for his first game in over a week due to these COVID-19 precautions that he's been isolating for the last week or so? So will he be able to just step right back onto the floor and be his usual strong, dominant, leading self? We'll have to wait and see on that tonight. But I'm still taking that shot plus 160. That's why you're getting a better price on that double-double for CP3 tonight. All right, good stuff from Skee, from Connor, and from Dutch. We'll get to best bets and Dutch's freshest look for Game 3, Western Conference Final, Clippers and Suns tonight in just a second. But before we do that, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. When you're in town, stop in, have a bite to eat, some drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke as well. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. We've got Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports, Lawnmower 4.0, hot off the presses, available for purchase. And you can save 20% on that purchase by using promo code Pub Sports with Manscaped. And MyBookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports, NBA, NHL playoffs, MLB daily. Currently, we've got, of course, NFL and college football, which is like 2 months away, less than that if you're including NFL preseason. So football season's right around the corner. Great time to sign up at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit there as well. So check out mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. All right, guys, let's get to it. Best bet, Dutch's freshest look, Game 3, Suns, Clippers, Western Conference Final. It can be anything. Anything goes when it's just the one game a day. Side total, player prop, best bet can be anything. Ski Profit, what do you like for your best bet?
If they lose, I'm gonna be firing them up tomorrow. But I'm gonna rock with the Clippers on the money line.
There we go. Going out and taking the Clippers, his dreaded, hated Clippers tonight. But it's about trying to win a bet. It's not about allegiances. Clippers to get the job done on the money line at a slight plus price here. Best bet in Game 3 for Ski Profit. LA Clippers to get their first win of the series. Dutch, what do you like for your freshest look?
Yeah, shout out to Johnny K and Toon. Yeah, the freshest look, man. We're going to go where we've been many times. DeAndre Ayton, we're going to continue to eat. We'll go over 15.5 points, minus 115. You know what we're going to do. 20 plus, get 11, 12, 13, 14 rebounds, and we're going to get this probably close-ass game, Clippers victory at the end, but we'll definitely take the over 15.5 with my guy DeAndre.
All right, there we go. DeAndre Ayton over 15.5 points for Dutch with the freshest look. Conor Mac, what do you like here for your best bet?
Yeah, like I said, I like Reggie Jackson, but everyone take him. Give me the under. I'm going to look for the lineups to be out, but Chris Paul's back. I think the game gets tight here late, and game's very close. I think it stays under, and it's already moved up it a little bit here. I see a 222, 221.5 everywhere. I think it stays under tonight.
All right, under 222 with the Clippers and Suns Game 3. Best bet here for Conor Mac in this one. I'm going to go with the best bet. I don't think I've had the same best bet, believe it or not, all these weeks as Dutch. Him and I with the same best bet. But for me, it's the strongest opinion I got. Stronger than the side, stronger than the total. It's DeAndre Ayton.
He's
over 15.5 points. It's just a matchup advantage for him in this series in my mind, and it's one that's not going to go away. I don't think there's a button that Ty Lue can press to fix this and make it better. I don't think there's a person that he can go to on the bench to all of a sudden say, go out there and stop DeAndre Ayton from feasting in the low post. I don't think he's got an option and an answer in this series. I think the Game 2 and Game 1, what we've seen from Ayton, it's just a sign of things to come for the rest of the series. DeAndre Ayton over 15.5 points for my best bet for Game 3 tonight, Suns and Clippers. Before we wrap up the show for today, just shout out everybody in the chat. Isaac Higgins, Kyle Hamburg, Eric Chang, Soup Panties. Interesting. Kenny Wu, Bubba Wallace guy, I Need Money, Brad Hunt, Gerald Martinez, Wyatt Chapman, everybody joining us today, Boston Nick, I Need Money, Sideshow, John Lee, Lance LaRose, Nathan Cerna, Frankie Martinez, James McGinnis, Lucky Power, Jacksonville Zoe, Sweaty Butcher, great turnout in the chat to Lit Picks. Thank Johnny K, Ricaro, The Hook, and it looks like that's about it. Shalomi as well, Brian Watson, Harold Williams. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Game 2, Eastern Conference Final. Hawks and Bucks tomorrow. We will break it down for you right here on the NBA Pub Hub. For Ski Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, Conor Mac, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday night. Enjoy Game 3, Clippers Suns, Western Conference Final. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday for another edition of the Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat, the real ones. Y'all take a minute, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe if you have not. We muchly appreciate it. We're about to hit these motherfuckers straight over the head. Y'all stay fresh, Stay blessed. And let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pumping!